Hello and welcome. It is what day is it? 28th day of April 2021. Yes, the 28th day, and it's 9:18 p.m. Eastern Time. As I am doing this video, all bets, trades, and amongst the like, that's each his own risk to, of course, their own reward. We'll start off with Theta against the Bitcoin, which has been in a downtrend, but really kind of sideways as well. And it's doing that after this monstrous move against the Bitcoin, breaking it above what was a high level here, given its historical resistance at the 7,000 or so Satoshi range, which it had a lot of sideways action amongst here. And then when it broke key level, big move. And it very potentially, it has a high potential, high probability on the situation of breaking out above here, of having, oh my goodness, this is just crazy. How much you would see this go up against the Bitcoin, how much you'd see it against the dollar. But as it goes, it's an interesting situation in that it's a little bit of a failed breakdown in here, and then the price is rallying up to the 18 average of highs, and it's been just hanging in there for a little bit. That's okay. I mean, got ways to go. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to break out now, because it could very easily now start to break down, retest this, and then down it goes. It's going to break it one way or another and have a either retracement from whichever low you want to choose. Fill some of this empty space, as I like to call it as well. Make a higher low. Or, this is a higher low for now. We'll break this and we'll make a higher high. Then you could be talking about 40, 60, 80, 100,000. Who knows how large a move like that would transition if such a situation occurs. As it goes right now, it's an attempt to get this thing going. This is the hour term time. And there's a nice little gain in here. Resistance established in a few spots. But after this last spot, lower high. First support established, got relowered, and then relowered again. Now it's settling in within this level of resistance. It's got above this. We've already seen within the line in here that it's came back to where we came from in this level of resistance, and then starting to rally up. So in a sense, that's got a very, very good setup. It's one of those either or situations, because if you make the attempt and you fail, oh my goodness. And that's going to be easy to tell when you look at the charts. Because for that to happen, price action has to, we see the 18 hours starting to rise. It has to come back to this point, it has to fail it on any move down towards it. But you see situations where it's able to get above the 18, again, starts to rise a bit. Then you see stuff of it just holding and staying above. And you see many periods. That's giving you like good situational odds that a move higher is probably going to be the next situation that is going to occur. And now Theta Fuel. Same sort of deal here in the hourly, but I find it a little interesting here just how it reacted amongst the 18 average of highs before this move, and now 37 minutes left on the hour, so it's about 30% in. So it's had a decent chunk of time for this period, showing the good hold in there. Now, you have that spot like, oh, it's looking to break out. Well, that's what it looked like here. It gets above here, comes back, and there's your breakout. But it didn't do anything. At least if it's going to do it, it's going to do it later. So not every single time you see this move is it going to work. And that's why I wanted to just bring up a play like that. Because to me, I see a play like this. Okay, we come to this resistance. After these lows, we make this higher low in here. Then we get above the 18 average of highs, show strength amongst it for a few periods. Then the break happens on the screen candle, maybe around 600 or so, and yet it only was able to go up another couple percent more, and that was it. But when these things are able to go, as we've seen so many times, these can just fly large. That's just the way it goes. I mean, the move here, so like 92 or whatever, to 1,000, over 100x. And when you look at this here, oh, okay, we came down to like 50 Satoshi. I mean, here, the resistance was like 250 of a big spot that it had. So it's managed to get well above the previous level of resistance. So if I bring this back, oh yeah, It didn't even come back to that area in this move. And for me, this worked out well because I sold barely over 1,000, and I wasn't going to buy back until I had a noticeable move below 500, which is what this was. So I was able to buy, basically buy pretty much all of it back and a bit more. In that, the easy math to it is if you sell anything at whatever price, if you get noticeable more than a 50% decline, and whatever you sell it for, you take half of that value, then you'll get noticeably more than what you sold it for before. So if you sell 1,000 units for whatever, and then you sell half of that whatever later, you get like maybe 1,050, 1,060 back, and you still got half of what you sold it for originally. And then my plan here, so I bought it at like 400 and change, and here, if it goes down to even where we came from here, maybe like 200, 225, I'll do it again. And wow, what a buy that would be. You get a decent sized return, and then let's see how we go from there. But Theta Fuel is just having a fantastic, fantastic play. Let's move on to Doggy or Doji, because it's also doing the same sort of deal. Like, well, okay, so what were we doing in here back in? Oh, 20 Satoshi back in here, 60 resistance, and yeah, 20. And then, oh, here we go up to like 576. It is what it is. When these things go, they can go. It's already had two monstrous moves because it had this one here. This was big in itself. 20 to like 250. That's a 10x move. And then it's way down here with that. And we had another big move again. We'll have the same thing. This price will be down. Who knows? Maybe we can go up to these decent levels. And I wouldn't have ever thought that Doji could ever get up here. But as it stands right now, where are we now? Where have we come from? Where do we have the potential to go? Where we came from, well, before this rally, it was in this correctionary move from this big, big play. And it's been quite a bit of time there because it had its high on January 29th. It had its second wave lower high move on February the 7th. And then it took 10 days to make this low, and then, oh my goodness, a sleepy grind. A little bit of a failed breaker here, but nothing happened. Just a little bit of a big buy come in, but nobody did anything after that. And the price was easy to trade near the 100 number for a long, long time. So from mid-February to, when was the breakout? April. 2 months of the sideways and then a monster move. And how has it settled in from that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 14 or so, 15 periods. Here's a second wave move here, so maybe 8 or 9, but it already had a decent size retracement. 769 down to like 300. Better than half off. From this, it has moved to this point and is just held in there very nice. This move in here on this day today has microscopically gotten above this level of resistance. So that's a very big situation. So the potential for where we are to go right now seems very, very large. 4-hour term time frame. There's that little bit of that failed breakdown in here. Market has a big, big sell-off here. And it was a global crypto thing falling, but as it goes, it looks like at a global level, a lot of these coins are going up. And if that's the case, at least not going down, Doge could easily have, though, that fantastic move. But you have all of this sideways action, and oh my goodness, this is just really all this here. So it all changes here with a big green candle getting above the 18 average of highs and extends it above. And now it's spent like 4 or so periods just hanging in there above the highs like this. That's a very interesting setup as far as I'm concerned. On the single hour term, this, you see the big volatility. Price comes up to 640 and has managed to stay within the 18. So the good and the bad. This is a decent sized correctionary move. And oftentimes, markets, again, like I call it, another lower high move can often happen after a big play. It's just common. This could be, so that the negative part or the bearish part is this a failed breakout? If that's the case, this would have to fail. And this is where the 18 average to me works out well. So the 18 of lows is 560. We've had major support at 550. If it breaks down below that, then yeah, it's going to go down to like 510, 511, whatever. But it's stated within the 1800 or 6 p.m. time frame that this thing is ready to go. And is it making a higher low? No, and it very easily could. So if that would be, if that statement's right, the market has its move, goes down, and then of course you start to go up. So a lot of times, if you see it like this, well, let's just wait for a breakout above here. If you see that, it's probably going to go here fast. Just ideas like that, and then understand your risk reward, understand just how your game strategy is going to be, and then if you can execute. There's always of big profits, of course, in this crypto market. And normally I start with Bitcoin. We're going to finish it off within such, and on the daily, just a fantastic move. So what has it done in correctionary move or price action below the 18? We had this period here. So a lot of bearish sentiments here did not happen. If you look at it more, more as it was, when you see it like this, at the time, ooh, this is not look, because we established support on this day, come up, there's that next wave, lower high move, and then it comes back down to where we came from the lows. If you make this lower high fine, go symmetrical, make sure this higher low, which was established here January 17th, makes a higher high, that was a no-go. So instead, it broke that established support and then retested here. And it did so on the 21st and 22nd of January. And then it had like 5 or 4 days of just hanging in there. And there's your bearish statement at Bitcoin 30,424. Oh, most likely this is going to go down to like 20, whatever. Now, if it doesn't, it's going to be a big move to the upside. Oh, yeah, it was a big move to the upside. It goes down in here, but nothing big, no major bearish setups of that this is going to go down. Maybe a little bit here, but a little bit below the 18 here, but it recovers it. And now it's had a more significant move. It's these moves here, or the last two previous ones are nothing compared to this. And you can almost compare it to this. So therefore, what it's done is it's done a big thing. It's established support in here. Yeah, we were there before, but we've had this leg lower. We've had a correctionary move, which is still, when you look at this from this low to this high, it's still got to get a little ways more to say it's a failed selling. Because if this thing shows any type of weakness now going below, because we've already had this move, that gives you indication, just like that one setup I showed down here, which, like back in here, if something like that happens and it probably goes down, well, it's probably going to go down, and if it doesn't, it would have a big move up. But that's what I'd be looking for on the bearish side. To me, there's no reason for any concern on Bitcoin until it breaks down below 50,000. That's my opinion anyway. And at the same point, there's no reason to be very excited as far as any conviction basis until it either gets to like 62, 63, or it can hold and stay above like 57, 56 change for a few days. Either or. There's no, I wouldn't, because it's going to have a correctionary move, fill some of this empty space at some point. And as I showed before, everything was a failed attempt. This was that failed attempt. This was like lackluster, nothing below the 18. And well, this is really tied, and it's not much. It's tied for the best it's been since this breakout and such. Even from this point here, this is like a whatever move, even from this bit here, because that didn't do much after that. So anyway, this is the conclusion of this video. Actually, I should just quickly look at silver, just because I noticed it was up like 2%, which is pretty good for silver. Well, 1.6% it tells me. And not a bad setup here on the daily, but I still need to see a little bit more forward progression. Not much, even a 0.5% would do a lot. Like 26 and 2/3 to 26.70. And you see here's an attempt to break out, like a huge one. At 6 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of April, or the morning of there. And then it's just been a very long correctionary phase. And this is a second attempt within it to say we're going to get going, because it did so here during these periods. And then it rejected that rally, but it just rejected the sell-off. It's got all of the losses back from point A high at like 26.5 to the low, because we're at 26.5 now. But it's gotten above the 18 average of highs, and we'll see what it does, because there's going to be a time when this thing is going to go sky high fly, and it's just going to be crazy. And I think that time isn't too far away. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.